So what's up to my beautiful queens, divas of a more mature age? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me here on my channel today. I am the Eva Monroe, and today we're actually going to talk about a subject that this has actually been requested multiple times on my channel by many of my lovely subscribers. And I never thought that it would be necessary for me to do this type of video, but as I look and I search and I see that no one really talks about this or teaches this that looks and talks like me. So I want to talk about dining etiquette today. And I really want to focus on formal dining etiquette because last night my husband and I attended a Royal Vagabonds event. And there were some things that I observed, and they're actually things that I have observed quite a few times from women that are just bad etiquette and out of line. So I don't want you to be embarrassed if you don't possess good etiquette skills or basic etiquette skills, or you've never formal dined. I want you to be embarrassed about not trying to educate yourself on how this actually is supposed to be done. Okay. I did not go to charm school. I've not been to the school of affluence, but I actually went to the school of hard knocks class in 1995. You might have been in my class, but I taught myself these things because of the fact that I have been thoroughly embarrassed before in a formal situation just because I lacked basic etiquette skills. I remember my very first formal military ball. I got a beautiful orange gown, child. I was so happy. I felt some type of way about myself because I had never been to anything like this. And we went into the ball. They allowed everyone to come into the grand ballroom, and my feet were killing me because I had on high heels. So I found the place that said the Eva Monroe, and I sat down. And I looked across the room and I met eyes with this lady. And when I tell you I locked eyes with her, I mean, she locked eyes with me like, you know, and she beelined towards me. Now, I thought she was going to come over and compliment me on my dress, but she didn't. She said, "You get up. You are not supposed to be seated before the head table is seated." And I didn't know. I was thoroughly embarrassed. Now, she didn't have to approach me like that because obviously I didn't know, but that could happen. It could happen to you. So I got up, and I mean, not only did I sit down, but I was also in the process of reaching for my water. So this is something that you need to know when you're in a formal type setting like this and someone is being honored, someone is presenting this is about someone other than you. You do not sit until the head table has actually been seated. I see people do this in weddings and stuff too. And like the bridal party hasn't even come in and people are sitting down. They'd have messed up the tables and they here, there, and everywhere. And it's really not the right way to do things. But, you know, always be mindful of that. Especially, I think weddings are a little more casual than per se a military ball or something along those lines. But you will never sit before the head table has actually been escorted in the room and they've been seated at their table. As well as you will never eat until everyone at your table has been served. But when we get to the restaurant, we're going to talk about that. It's actually not a restaurant at all. It's actually my kitchen. So let's talk about a few things before we go to the restaurant that you need to think about before you actually even leave your house. The attire. After 5, wear is not a cheap sundress with the little strappies, that $10 that you picked up at Rainbows, bright, bold, colorful. Make sure you're fully aware of where you're going, what you're going to be doing, and what you're supposed to be wearing. I saw so many women in sundresses. It was just crazy to me. I thought to myself, wow, you look out of place. And not only that, you're being disrespectful to the people that have organized the event. And they thought this thing through, and they want you to do what they want you to do. So I've had events myself that have been like all white. and someone will show up in all green or all blue. And it's like I said, it's all white. If you didn't want to wear white, or if you don't like white, you had the option of not coming. You could have stayed home. So just go with the flow. I know sometimes people hate, they're like, I wear what I want to wear. You make yourself stand out from everyone else by your accessories and your behavior and, you know, the way you carry yourself and things like that. It's not about wearing the loudest outfit in the room or going against the grain. Follow suit where that is concerned. Now, another thing you want to think about is your bag. Now, this is super duper important, ladies. After 5, or formal dining is not the place for your LV backpack or your big hobo bag that has everything but the kitchen sink in it. It is not. The only thing you need to carry to any type of formal dining event is this. I stick with something like this or something like this, depending on what I'm wearing, what's going on. This is always going to be a safe bet for you. What's going to be in here? The only thing that needs to be in here, driver's license, a small decant of whatever amazing perfume you're wearing that night, what's on your lips, maybe a little dainty comb or something like that, and money. That's it. That's the only thing that you need to have in this bag. This is my little Judith Lieber bag. It actually comes with this really cute little comb thing that I don't think combs my hair, but that's all you need. And I said cell phone, right? I think I said cell phone. When it goes in here though, you're going to pretend like this is a vault and you have to have some type of major code that you don't even have the code to. You don't have that code. You're going to put your cell phone in there and it's actually going to stay in there. Number one thing I see, formal dining, people sitting at a formal dining table like this. That's so bad. It's so disrespectful. It's rude to the people around you. And perhaps everyone at the table is doing it. Be the one that's not doing it because it's extremely tacky. Another thing that is extremely tacky is this thing right here. If someone invites you to their wedding or their reception or their formal event, if they did not ask you to videotape the event, not your responsibility. It's not. Oh my goodness. I get the worst attitude when I look on Facebook or Instagram and I see someone has actually uploaded a video of someone's entire wedding ceremony. I mean, these people have invited you to share in this moment with them, but they didn't ask you to be the one to share this moment with the entire world, or they would have live streamed it. So leave your cell phone in your bag. If you're not the videographer or, you know, the one that, if the couple has said, or if the people have said, please get video, send it to us, we'd like to make a lot, don't do it. It's rude and it's disrespectful. Now, back to the bag. The bag needs to look like this because when you are seated at the table, your bag can only be 2 places. In your lap, and this bag fits perfect in my lap, in your lap or on a purse hook hanging under the table. Those are the only 2 places that your bag can be in a formal dining setting. Your bag doesn't go on the table. Your bag does not hang on the back of your chair. It is super duper tacky to hang your purse on the back of the chair. And it's even more tacky to place your bag on the floor. That means you don't respect money. You're going to be broke for the rest of your life. Don't ever put your bag on the floor, ladies. Okay? So if you have something like this, you have nothing to worry about. It just goes in your lap. You put your napkin over it, and there you go. Booyah. All right. So let's go to the restaurant, shall we? Okay, so once you arrive at the table, again, if you have a gentleman with you, he should pull your chair back. You have your handbag, your dainty handbag in your hand, and you will sit down at the table, and then he will help you scoot yourself up to the table, place your butt, your bottom at nearly at the back of the chair. You can have your bottom be touching the back of the chair, but not your back. Don't lean back in your chair like that. It's just really not a good look, and it doesn't help you have good posture. So what you want to do is you want to sit straight up. You want to pull your shoulders back, chest out. Always remember, chin up high. You took your handbag, place your handbag in your lap, and then we're going to take our napkin and we're going to place our napkin on our lap. I like to place my napkin on my lap at a diagonal like this. And that is so that when I need to tidy up my mouth, I don't have to completely snatch the napkin all the way up. I can just discreetly pull my corner of my napkin up, tidy up my mouth, and then put my napkin back where it needs to go. Okay, so we've been seated at the table. Now, even if you've been seated at the table and there's already, let's say there's already a salad on the table or there are already drinks on the table, do not eat or drink anything until everyone has actually been seated at your table. It's very rude to do that. So you want to remember to never do that. Now, let's talk about everything that we actually have on the table here today. It looks like a whole lot going on here. So what we have, you're going to have 3 forks, 3 spoons, and 2 knives. So you have your salad fork, your dinner fork, soup spoon, a teaspoon, and a dinner knife. This is considered a dinner knife. I know it looks like a butter knife, but it's a dinner knife. At the top of your plate, you have a dessert fork and a dessert spoon. Okay, they will always be placed at the top of your plate. Then up at the corner of the screen where you guys can't really see, I have my bread plate and a butter knife on top of there. Typically in a fancy setting, the butter knife will be kind of almost in the shape of an open V, so to speak. Then we have our salad plate. You have your dinner plate, and both of those are sitting on top of a charger. Your glasses are, you have a wine glass, a champagne glass, or some people will say a white wine glass, and then you will have your water glass here as well. Those things will be placed to the right of you. So you want to make sure that you're only reaching for the glasses that are placed to the right of you. Now, let's talk about the order in which you're going to use these things. So if you can just think of, as a rule, to always start on the outside and work your way in. That's on the left and on the right. Start on the outside and work your way inside. So your salad fork is first, right? So of course, that's what you're going to use to eat with first. Then you have your soup spoon here. Going to use your soup spoon next to eat. You have your teaspoon, which this can actually be used for a couple of different things, but that's the second spoon you're going to use. And then your knife. But always remember to start from the outside and work your way in. Now, let's talk about glasses, drinking, how to actually hold your glass. So most of the time we see people with a wine glass in their hand. This is actually the way that they hold their glass. When you're drinking a red wine, it's not the appropriate way to hold your glass. You should actually hold the glass from the stem with 4 fingers and sip and place the glass back where you got it from. I like to hold my champagne glass the same way. If you just have a basic white wine, then sometimes it is appropriate to hold that glass like this. Okay, but always with your red wine, you want to make sure that you hold the glass from the stem. I'm just in the habit of, whenever I have a glass with a stem, that's typically how I hold that glass. I even hold my water glass like that as well. It's just a habit. So let's talk about how to place your hands when you're sitting at the table. So you have arrived at the table, no one's eating yet, and you're just waiting. Some people have a habit of doing this thing right here. And sometimes it's okay, but there are certain cultures that think that that's disrespectful. So you never want to do that. What you want to do, what's more appropriate, is to rest your wrists actually on the edge of the table and cuff your hands. And that way you don't have to try to figure out what you're going to do with your hands. It just makes sense, right? Now, when you're eating, I like to keep one hand under the table and just use one hand to eat. And the only time I bring my other hand out is if I need to cut something. Now, speaking of cutting, let's talk about eating salad, because I know this is going to sound absolutely crazy, but when you're dining in a very elegant setting or in a formal setting, it's not appropriate to put large pieces of food in your mouth, large bites of food. So sometimes salad, especially like a Caesar salad or a house salad, will have big chunks of lettuce and maybe carrots and baby tomatoes. It's perfectly fine to take your dinner knife and cut your salad into small bite-sized pieces, so that way you can just put small bits of food in your mouth. Makes sense, right? Now, a few things. Oh, bread as well. I didn't talk about bread. When you have bread, you know, restaurants will bring you a piece of bread, and the bread might be, you know, like a roll size or whatever. Sometimes they're particularly stiff. Then it's appropriate to break off a small enough piece to comfortably fit in your mouth that you can chew easily and swallow. And remember to never, ever, ever talk with food in your mouth, okay? I know that sounds like I'm stating the obvious, but you would be amazed I'm really not. So let's say you have to get up from the table and go freshen up or go to the restroom or whatever it is, because it's never appropriate to freshen up. You should never brush your hair at the table. You should never apply lipstick or perfume or anything like that at the table. Also, your cell phone, I said it earlier, should never be seen at the dinner table. All you want to do, you don't have to say, excuse me, I gotta go to the bathroom. Just say, excuse me. Get up from the table, take your napkin, place your napkin in your chair, and then go. And when you come back, you just simply pick your napkin up and place your napkin back in your lap. That lets the servers know that you're going to be coming back to the table. Now, another very important thing is that this is something that I've observed as well. Excuse me, when you're trying to get the server's attention. That is so unnecessary. It's so inappropriate, because actually, when you're in a formal setting, the people that are not sitting at the table with you, they should not hear you. And the people that are sitting at the table with you should only hear you when you're speaking to everyone. So the only thing you need to do is when the server is in eye shot of you, just simply do this. That lets the server know that maybe you're low on water, or you need the check, you're ready to go, whatever. This is all you need to do. Another thing I forgot to mention was when you're ordering your food, it sounds so bad when we say, the server says, what can I get you this evening? What would you like to have? And you say, can I get no. May I please have the filet mignon? Or I would like to have the house salad. Or I would like to have the please. Always put a please and a thank you on it. Always say please and thank you to your server. When your server fills up your water, say thank you. When your server brings you a course, say thank you. Let them know that you appreciate the fact that they are serving you, because that is definitely how you treat your servers is a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself. So always be nice, polite, and kind to them. Now, let's say that the head of the table has finished eating And because they need to finish eating and they need to make it clear that it's okay for everyone to get up and leave. You never want to leave a formal dining setting before the head of the table or everyone at the table has finished eating. Unless you have some type of 911 emergency, don't ever just get up and leave. Say they've said it's okay for everyone to go. Then in a case like that, you're simply going to take your napkin from your lap. I will just fold mine up. You don't have to get fancy with it. Lay it to the left of your plate, and then you can go. Now, another way to let your servers know that, let's say for instance, you were eating your salad and you still have quite a bit of salad on your plate, but you're done with it. If you take your fork and lay your fork upside down on your plate like that, that lets the server know that you're done with that. And not only can they take the plate, but they can take your fork as well. If you don't want the server to take your fork ever, don't leave it on your plate. Don't leave it on your plate because I know me, I don't even want them to touch it. And sometimes when they know that you're not actually done eating, I've had them, especially in a buffet type setting, they will take it off of your plate and set it over to the side. I don't ever want them to touch my silverware. So take it off yourself, or if you're done with it, just turn it upside down, and that lets them know that they can take your plate away, that you're done eating. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope you learned some useful information from this video today. The best way to get used to doing this, for it to become second nature for you, is to just practice. When you're home by yourself, you're not doing anything else, just set your table up the way that it needs to be set and just practice. Practice thinking about, okay, this is my salad fork. This is my dinner fork. Oh, my napkin goes this way. Practice sitting the appropriate way at a table, because I'm telling you, a little bit of etiquette goes a long way. And like I said, if you think you're going to be running around with people who have money and class, etiquette is a huge part of that. So thank you so much for watching me today. And until I see you again, be blessed and bye for now.